Hello everyone, welcome back to the Film Insight channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the most talented chefs to be featured on Kitchen Nightmares. So, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get straight into the content, guys. We're starting things off with Blackberries. Blackberries debuted in the first episode of the 5th season. Located in Plainfield, New Jersey, the restaurant was owned by a woman named Shelley Winters. In order to judge the food quality and taste, Chef Ramsay ordered collard greens, pork chops with mac and cheese, chitlins, and red velvet cake. Just like in every other Kitchen Nightmares episode, the food was awful. It was so awful that before tasting the chitlins, the famous chef did this.
Before I do taste them, I'd like to pray to God before I put any of that in my mouth.
You are prayed over. We guarantee you that you are not about to succumb to those chitlins. Hallelujah.
And after tasting it, he did this.
Ugh. Chitlins. Shitlets.
I guess his prayers weren't answered. Surprisingly, the dessert at this restaurant was actually delicious. Well, that's because it was made by Winter's mother, Mary. Check out what Chef Ramsay said about her red velvet cake.
Wow, that is delicious. Finally, some good fucking food. Wow.
How do you like this?
That's delicious. Well done. Wow.
Looks like this did lighten up his mood a little bit. Winters was an arrogant and unbearable owner. Many say that children take after their parents, but clearly this wasn't the case for Winters. She didn't accept her mistakes and instead put the blame on others. Just like how she blamed Chef Ramsay for a mouse that he found.
I walked in the front door, a mouse.
The mouse that you planted, I know. They told me. But it's okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's a show.
It's got nothing to do with TV, nothing to do with your business in the shit. I am not going to stand there and even attempt to take that crap from you. You can take your restaurant and stick it. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
And let me tell you, she wasn't the only one to do this. James, the general manager, had done something similar earlier.
I came in the door, walked in there, saw him, bang, right there.
Right here. Do you have it on film?
Are you kidding me? What, you thought I brought it in out of my pocket?
I think you did.
Are you dreaming? I arrived, the mouse was there.
Never here.
It's funny how both of them thought of blaming Chef Ramsay when they saw the mouse. A Michelin star chef wouldn't do something so silly. Unfortunately, throughout the episode, Winters didn't seem to want to change or redeem herself. She was in complete denial. She didn't even embrace the changes made. It was Mary who was emotional, and why wouldn't she be? She was the one who had invested her retirement money into the restaurant. And by the looks of it, she should have been the one to run the business and kitchen. God knows her daughter is too incompetent to do that.
You take somebody out of what they're supposed to be doing and make them do something else. And that's one thing you got to realize, and that happens more often than not.
I think that you talk too much and you know too much.
This is the attitude. That's what makes this so rough.
Dwayne, calm down.
I wasn't upset.
Dwayne,
I tried to tell you something.
I'm asking you to calm down.
I'm not upset.
I want you to leave.
Don't touch what he's doing.
Okay.
You said it's dry. Was it dry, the corn?
No, it wasn't dry.
It wasn't fucking dry.
It wasn't even done yet.
Thank you.
I don't care what he says.
Post Kitchen Nightmares, Winters finally embraced the changes, but it was too late. In March of 2013, Blackberries was permanently closed. On to the next one, being the Mixing Bowl. The Mixing Bowl was featured in the 3rd episode of the 1st season. Located in Belmore, New York, the restaurant was owned by Billy and Lisa Galletti. Billy Galletti was the chef, but he also helped out around the restaurant.
My name is Billy Galletti. I'm the chef owner of the Mixing Bowl. Pick it up! I'm the chef, delivery guy, Mr. Fix-It. I'm doing bills, picking up supplies. I mop the floors if I have to. It's what I have to do to keep the place alive.
When it was time to taste the food, Chef Ramsay ordered award-winning Maryland crab cakes, zucchini pancakes, and a seared North Atlantic salmon. The famous chef was actually impressed with the freshness of the crab cakes. Knowing that most of the restaurants that he visited had a history of not serving fresh food, this was quite a surprise to us. This is what Chef Ramsay had to say about this.
Award-winning, maybe not. In terms of freshness, yeah. I wouldn't expect to find something so fresh in such a dreary, dreadful dining room.
But when it came to trying the rest of the food, it left him feeling unimpressed.
Zucchini pancakes. Stodgy, bland, and just pretty thick. It's like having a mouthful of glue. Salmon very bland, and sauce just heavy, soggy and vinegary. Garlic everywhere. No one wants to come out to lunch and stink of garlic, that's for sure.
Though Galletti scored a point for his crab cakes, he clearly failed the test for the rest of the food.
The crab cakes were good.
Thanks.
Yes, that was the high point. Everything else, unfortunately for me, just bland. Look, pancakes were soggy and fish was dry. The salmon it just looked old-fashioned.
When Chef Ramsay challenged Galletti to a cook-off, he clearly showed great potential as a chef. Both had to create a dish using only 15 fresh ingredients, and the result was...
Seared salmon with ginger balsamic drizzle.
This is the kind of food that the mixing bowl should be serving. I like that. Both dishes are good enough to go on the menu tonight.
Galletti really just needed to ignite his passion for cooking, and this cook-off did just that. His excitement was clearly visible to the point that his staff also noticed as well.
I was so excited because I haven't seen Billy this fired up about something in so long.
The dinner service with the special was a success, but there was still one obstacle: Mike, the restaurant manager.
I don't particularly care about the kitchen. Your main focus should be the customers.
The water is complimentary. Oh, yeah. Salmon special's really going well, but Michael, what is he doing? This guy is just using this restaurant to feed his ego.
None of the staff liked Mike, and why would they? He had no shame in taking their tips and had no remorse for it. In fact, he was proud of the money he was earning through tips.
I get very large tips. Give him some more water on table 18, please. I mean, 20, 25%.
He was even disrespectful to everyone else.
You find a table you latch on, and then the rest of us bust our butts to get your tables and our tables done, and then you take a half of our tips.
This is what Mike had to say about the staff complaining about him taking tips.
Can I say something? Do you think you would have those tips if I wasn't here?
Mike was a completely shameful person. When Galletti finally voiced his concerns about the problem, this was Mike's response.
Kind of talking to yourself right now.
I'm talking. This is how I feel. I am verbalizing.
These are things you need to do. I'm fighting for my life here. You right now need to step up to the plate and make the changes every freaking day, every minute of the day. That's it.
With Galletti finally stepping up as a chef and as an owner, the future of the restaurant was looking bright. Thanks to Chef Ramsay's help, it was looking even brighter. Sadly, the restaurant was closed permanently before the episode even aired. But it seems like Galletti bagged a great job. He's currently working as the president of Junior Alta Foods Inc. Moving on to the next entry, we have Bazzini. Bazzini was featured in the 3rd episode of the 3rd season. Located in Ridgewood, New Jersey, the restaurant was owned by Paul and Leslie Bazzini. Paul, who was the chef of the restaurant, had many years of experience in the restaurant industry. In fact, he worked himself up to becoming an executive chef. He was also featured in several magazines with positive feedback. However, after becoming an owner, Bazzini became overwhelmed. Though having so much experience, you'd expect the food to still be good, right? Well, it was anything but delicious. Chef Ramsay didn't order anything off the menu. Instead, he asked Bazzini to do this.
Why don't you cook me something?
Okay.
Yeah? Don't show me the menu, you decide.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ready to impress Chef Ramsay with his magic, Bazzini served Chef Ramsay fettuccine pesto, chicken paillard, mushroom risotto, and an almond-crusted tilapia dish with rice. Chef Ramsay didn't like any of the food. However, after the horrible meal, Chef Ramsay asked for desserts and ordered this.
Do you know what? I have a little slice of the cheesecake and the carrot cake.
Done.
Please.
Start right here. The carrot cake?
Wow, all homemade.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
The famous chef absolutely loved the carrot cake and cheesecake. So much so to the point that he actually finished the entire cake. The cakes were made by the restaurant's pastry chef, Sharon. After meeting her, this is what Chef Ramsay had to say to her.
First of all, that is delicious.
Awesome.
Whose recipe is that?
Mine.
Can I have it?
No, for a price. Everything for a price.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's made with passion.
As much as you have.
You make love to that carrot cake, don't you?
When people say that sweets lighten up anyone's mood, they're not wrong. Chef Ramsay seems certainly happier. However, Bazzini had issues with taking criticism, which ruined the victory. This is what he said to Chef Ramsay when the famous chef was giving him his evaluation.
It wasn't intended to be dry or to be overcooked.
You sent it out.
I know that.
That's the way you normally cook it, overdone.
Certainly don't think that I cook food overdone.
Okay.
I mean, that's
risotto overcooked, chicken overcooked. You certainly did for me.
During one of the dinner services, an argument broke out between Paul and Sharon. To make matters even worse, the customers grew frustrated as they waited for their food.
Why can't we just finish this chicken Milanese and make this particular chicken Milanese a right one? Not talking about yesterday, not talking about next month, but what's with the sarcasm?
How about if you tell me you're doing one way, then you're changing it with the for me?
Changing it right.
Well, you told me the first time.
Bazzini's frustration and lack of passion was affecting the whole entire restaurant. Hoping to bring back that passion, Chef Ramsay said this.
You've got 15 minutes from now to cook me a stunning pasta dish. Off you go.
And the result was?
We have a capellini pasta with a chunky puttanesca sauce and some rock shrimp.
Lovely. That's nice. Capellini, cooked perfectly.
Thank you. It just felt good to just have a really positive comment from Chef Ramsay. I really needed that lift.
With positive feedback from Chef Ramsay, Bazzini's passion for food was back. But was that really enough to run a restaurant? Sadly, no. Bazzini stayed open for some time, but the restaurant was closed permanently when Chef Ramsay went for a revisit.
What? Closed for good?
Sharon, who was working as the pastry chef, left her job at Bazzini to open her own bakery, The Cake Lady. When the famous chef went to visit her, she revealed why Bazzini closed down. She said this.
What happened?
It closed like after the show aired. They never had a lunch service, never. From the day I was that fabulous waitress. Is everything okay?
Biggest spoons too.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I was late one day and he got all pissy and throwing all over the place and being nasty, and I just got pissed off and I said, I'm out of here. I just couldn't work there.
After everything you did for him?
Right. Listen, I don't wish anybody badly, but I was really good to him and he wasn't nice to me.
The good news is that Sharon is still doing great with her bakery. We're moving on to the next top chef that was featured at Morgan's. Morgan's debuted in the 4th episode of the 4th season of Kitchen Nightmares UK. Located in Liverpool, England, the restaurant was owned by a woman named Sandy Morgan. Philip Lee was the head chef of the restaurant while Emma was his assistant. Chef Ramsay, as usual, sat down to judge the food first, and for that, he ordered 2 starters, 2 main courses, and a dessert. Chef Ramsay found the food to be tasteless and weird, but he loved the bread pudding. The famous chef learned that the dessert was made by Emma, whereas the rest of the food was made by Lee. Lee didn't take Chef Ramsay's feedback very well. Instead of taking the criticism, he did this.
And the chef over there wants to fucking laugh about it.
What the fuck do you want me to do about it? You're standing there fucking mouthing me off.
Fuck
do you know
that.
What I mean?
You've just shown me over the last 3 minutes your attitude stinks.
It doesn't at all.
And you can't take criticism.
I can't take criticism. There's ways and means of going about and putting criticism across. It's the way you speak. You speak arrogantly.
How would you like to be spoken to?
Just like a normal person, like anyone would speak to anyone.
And when Chef Ramsay praised Emma's bread pudding, this was Lee's reaction.
The sticky toffee pudding was fucking delicious.
Oh, thank you, good.
I just wish I had it for my fucking starter.
Welcome.
Foxy!
It was clear to us who was more passionate about cooking. Conversing with Lee revealed that the reason behind his lack of cooking skills was that he never had formal training, and Morgan made his job tougher by not giving him enough time to prepare. For one of the dinner services, Lee was a big mess. Due to his carelessness and poor concentration, he was struggling bad and the kitchen was a disaster. But thanks to Emma stepping up, he was able to get back on his feet. Even though Lee was jealous of Emma, it was evident that he couldn't function without her. Emma was clearly more passionate about the food than Lee. She was organized, careful with everything, and most importantly, she concentrated on her work. After all the changes were made, Chef Ramsay was back a month later to check out how things were going. Lee was no longer working at Morgan's. He left the job and started working as a sous chef at a different restaurant. As for Emma, she was promoted to the head chef position at Morgan's. Emma added a new dish to the menu and Chef Ramsay said this after tasting it.
Lovely, thank you. Look how tender that beef is. He's just falling apart. Almost like it's melting on your fork. Wow.
However, in November of 2007, the restaurant was sold. Unfortunately, we couldn't find out what Emma was currently doing, but as for Lee, he was working at Blue Bar but was jailed for stealing checks from his new employer. What a piece of work. And as our final entry, we have Zeke. Chef Ramsay ordered boiled shrimp, oysters cortello, chicken fried steak, and bread pudding. all of the food was tasteless except for the bread pudding. Chef Ramsay was actually really impressed with it. Check out what he said about it.
Doesn't look fantastic, but it tastes delicious. Who made that?
Emil makes it.
The bread pudding was made by Emil. Emil is passionate about cooking, but because of the owner, her and the rest of the staff couldn't really do much. Daryl did all of the shopping and most of the goods he brought were frozen. When Chef Ramsay was giving his feedback about the food and asked why they were using frozen goods, this is what Daryl said. "Such a shame. All the chefs and staff were clearly very passionate about their work, but because of Daryl's attitude, they couldn't open up freely."
There's something you need to know about the seafood dishes. I didn't cook them. The two chefs put those dishes together.
Wow.
Delicious, absolutely.
Wow.
They really are, they're phenomenal.
They're beautiful and they come from right inside you. I know that. You did a fantastic job.
According to Quora, Chef Jason is working as a head chef, but the restaurant name wasn't disclosed. As for Chef Emil, none of his social media handles have any information about his current job status. We hope he's doing well. Which one of these chefs is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to give us a like and a share. Also, hit the subscribe button to never miss out on our updates. Thanks for watching, guys.